Oh, good day. Okay, now I'd like to speak about uh, my idea of how life should be as a global community. And I know a lot of people, they have this thing, this fear, one world governments and all sort of stuff. It's understandable because politicians, their job is to control others. Politics is the art and science of influencing and controlling others. And that's what politics is. It's learning how people think, what they want, how they can be convinced um, to follow your lead, to accept your proposals. And okay, so I can understand one world government. People are scared shitless of it, actually. I don't care, to tell the truth. I don't have a problem with that. Um, to me, we have how many independent nations on this planet? How many separate governments on this planet? It's a disaster. You know, and as I've said before, um, there is only one mind with an infinite number of personalities, or identified attitudinal behaviours of that mind. Now, the innate potential we have is to visualise our thoughts into a dream state. That's where we exist, within that dream state, a visualisation of thoughts. That's what life is. Life is a visualisation of thoughts. The dream state. Okay. And because all of those personalities in a shared mind, existing within a shared dream, wanting privacy. Thought manifests. We visualise our thoughts into the dream state. All of our thoughts are manifested in some way or form into the dream of mind. It's our own dream. We just visualise our thoughts into a dream. And we experience those thoughts within that dream state. So all of these separate identities, separate life forms, the whole way that space, the universe itself is represented within the dream state is separation. All these planets so far apart from one another, all galaxies so far apart from one another. The whole dream state represents, in some way or form, separation, a disconnect, wanting privacy. Okay, so part of that is all of these separate nations, separate governments, all with different rules and regulations, different cultures, different belief systems, different religions. The whole thing is symbolic of a state of mind, our state of mind. A mind of confusion and separation, of disconnection. That's what this reality represents. Now, when you look at all of the different governments and all of the conflicts we have within those governments and those different nations, is coming together as one a bad thing? And I'm not talking about one world governments. I'm talking about coming together as one, a global community. A global community. One planet, one people, one goal, peace, harmony, good health and well-being. Sounds right to me. How do we achieve that? Okay, I'm going to explain what I think a global community should be like. Okay, in that global community, everyone shares their skills with that community. within that global community. Everyone shares their skills with the community. In return, everybody receives what they need to live a comfortable life. Everyone receives what they need to live a comfortable life. Everyone is contributing their skills, builders, uh, you know, house builders, road builders, uh, medical people, everyone that's doing what they're doing now, but not through a capitalist system where everybody's competing against one another. You can't have a global community while everyone's competing against one another. It just won't work. So we all have to contribute our skills to the global community for the benefit of all. For the benefit of all. In return, we get everything that we need to live a comfortable life. Nothing has a price upon it. There is no money. There's none of that crap, that rubbish. There's no rich people, poor people. Everyone fulfills a purpose within the global community, whether that's management, whether that's some sort of organisation, whether that's trade skills, medical skills, all the normal stuff that we have now that we contribute to the community, but we expect to be paid for it. Not a great deal changes, just that we don't need to be paid for it. We're getting everything that we need. You go and get food. Some people grow food. That's their skill. All these people contributing their skills, people working in factories, people working in all forms of skill-based systems, all contributing their skills and receiving everything that they need to live a comfortable life. House, food, clothing, all of that stuff. Everyone gets everything that they need. It's just supplied. It's just part of the global community. Everyone gets what they need supplied. We share the resources of the planet. However, the resources of the planet still need to be managed. So there will be people necessary to fulfill their job, their purpose, but their job and purpose isn't to control others, it's simply to do their job. Now that is to manage the resources so that we don't overuse those resources. That's just their job. Everyone does their job. Someone goes and builds a house. Doctors, all that sort of stuff. People get looked after. Everybody does their job. There are no people living in great big mansions and castles while poor people live on the streets scrounging for food. That doesn't exist. Everyone receives what they need to live a comfortable life. However, you can't have rorting of the system. We rort the system now quite often because some people aren't very good at competing. They just aren't very good at competing. So they don't go too well in the workforce and all sort of stuff. So obviously, well, not obviously, but quite often, people try to rort the system to gain what they need to live a comfortable life. Because of the capitalist system we have now of competition, reward for effort, all of that stuff, people are encouraged to do the wrong thing sometimes for survival means. They're trying to survive like everybody else. If they're not very good at competing, they get desperate. Desperate people do desperate things. There shouldn't be any of that desperation. We shouldn't have to compete for the basic necessities of life. That's just craziness. For the ones who can't compete, now, first of all, because there is no cost to anything. No cost to anything. Education is free. Health is free. The health system is free. Everything's free. So people are encouraged to learn a beneficial skill to help the community. everyone would be encouraged to learn a beneficial skill, something to help the community. So, education isn't a problem. It doesn't cost you anything. Get educated. Health doesn't cost anything. Quite often people now can't afford what they need to be healthy. They just can't afford to go to doctors. That again is crazy. Everyone should have equal access to resources, not just the wealthy. Everybody should have equal access to the resources. That includes the skill base of all of the people on this planet. Okay. Everyone contributing their skills, receiving everything they need to live a comfortable life. Obviously, you would have to have some sort of standard set as to what that means to live a comfortable life. Again, it's not some people want great big mansions and a whole lot of shitload of stuff because they still want to feel better than everybody else. You couldn't have that. You know, everyone should be treated equally. Jobs, the skills, you know, every job should be treated equally. If it's benefiting the community, all jobs should be treated as important, as equally important, whether it's garbage collection, sewage maintenance, or whether it's organisation skills, management skills, doctor skills. All of those jobs should be treated as equally important, and everyone receives what they need to live a comfortable life. Not some people getting more and some people getting less. How does that work? We have it now and it doesn't work. That means we don't have separate nations. We don't have separate governments. Now, of course, there has to be management skills, people managing the resources. Still, management skills are necessary. They're still necessary, but that would be their job. Not to have a great big friggin' mansion to say, oh, I'm more important than you are. That doesn't work. It won't. That would never be allowed. Everybody does their job, what they're good at. If you're good at management and organisation, then that's what you do. If you're good at healthcare, some sort of healing mode, that's what you do. You know, that's just what people do. And of course, you can still have your interests, other pleasures on the side. You just contribute to the community, everyone equally, a certain number of hours that will be necessary to bring balance to the community, what is necessary for the community. But we wouldn't be short of labour. One planet, one people. People can travel anywhere on that planet free of charge. Free of charge, as long as you contribute your skills. As long as you do your work when your work is necessary. That's all that matters. Then you can do any damn thing. Go anywhere. Sounds right to me. You know, and any country, all countries then, would share technology. Whatever technology was available, all countries would have access to that technology equally, equal access. All people, like I said, would be considered equally important. The ones who can't contribute skills because of health reasons, physical disabilities, mental disabilities, they would still be looked after and treated equally important to everybody else. They will be helped to get on their feet, to be rehabilitated, or they will be looked after permanently if that's not a possibility. everyone would have the care necessary to live a healthy, comfortable life. No money, no insurances, none of that rubbish, no banks, no superannuation schemes, none of that crap. You know, if a storm comes and your house blows away, it just gets rebuilt. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're a builder, you help rebuild the house. If you're not a builder, you do you do your skill, your thing, to help the community, whatever that is. Everyone contributing. But like I said, no one rorting the system. You know, well, we get everything that we need to live a comfortable life. Let's sit on our ass. Sounds good, doesn't it? But that doesn't work in a global community. Everybody needs to contribute to our life. If we want a good way of life, everyone must contribute to that in some way or form. Like I said, we're doing all of that stuff now. Not a great deal changes. It's just that, like I said, we don't need to struggle anymore. Just because you have what you class as a shitty job, you still get the same as everybody else in return by doing that shitty job. Like I said, all countries share the available skills, the available resources, but those resources are managed so that we don't overuse them. Still has to be done. And of course, we need guidelines to live in that sort of a reality, same as we'll need guidelines now to live in this reality. But we have authoritarianism going on and all that political garbage, you know, majority rule, all that crap. Now you would still have people coming together to voice their opinions, forums, to voice their opinions, their likes and dislikes, how they think life should unfold, you know, all that sort of stuff. However, the only way that works, because we don't have political parties trying to enforce their belief systems and influence as many people as possible to come on board so they can fulfill those ideals that they have on what they think the world should be like or what they want for their life, you know, luxury lifestyle. Oh, wow. When we retire, we'll have $200,000 a year. Oh, all these other buggers getting peanuts when they retire. Not going to happen. Everyone, like I said, there's no money. Whether you're working, retired, whatever, you still get everything you need. You go get groceries, you go to get clothing, you go to get whatever you need. It's just there. Everyone's doing their job, creating all of that sort of stuff, manufacturers, all that sort of thing, suppliers. Everyone's doing their job, and everyone is benefiting from it equally. Equally. Sounds right to me. Like I said, any countries who don't have a great deal of resources, then the technology is used. If they need more water or agriculture, all that sort of stuff, the technologies are used to gain the water that they need for agriculture, for whatever purpose. That country is brought up to the same standards as everyone else's country, not third world countries, and then the lucky countries that we have now. Bullshit. Everyone's got to be brought up to the same standard. You know, all countries have to be brought up to the same standard. But like I said, we need guidelines. We can't have all of this nonsense going on. All these different cultural belief systems of disrespect. You know, classing the male as more important than the female. You know, you're under my control, you'll do as I tell you, or else. I'll chop your frickin' head off. None of that crap can exist in that global community. Any religious system that is disrespectful, that does not support equality, that has to be adjusted. The doctrine has to be adjusted. That's just how it has to be. You can't have those different cultural systems all run around bloody disrespecting their own people and everybody else, thinking that they're better than everybody else. You know, my God's better than yours. Or somehow we have to get rid of that bullshit. We have to get rid of it. That's crap. That's absolute craziness. You have these fools chopping people's hands off, chopping people's heads off. All sorts of crap going on in the name of God. God told me to chop your friggin' head off. Bullshit. Bullshit. Because if your God told you to do that, you're not serving a God. Think about it. Evil. The acronym of evil, EVIL, expressing violence in life. Violence, VIOLENCE, as an acronym, violence. Voluntarily initiated, overt, love-excluded nature, carelessly expressed. Voluntarily initiated, overt, love-excluded nature, carelessly expressed, love-excluded. Has nothing to do with love, that crap. Any religion that does that to people has nothing to do with love. It's control. It's dominance. It's hierarchical privilege and dominance. Those religions need to cease. They can't be practiced anymore. They're disrespectful. They are violent. They need to be seen for what they are. Not tippy-toe around saying, oh, we can't say that about their religion. Oh, everyone has an equal right to believe what they want. Bullshit, do they? Bullshit. We need a code of conduct within a global community. We should have it now, but we don't, because we have all these different systems going on, competing against one another. Whatever is best for the peace, harmony, good health, and overall well-being of all that is and all that will ever be. That must be the theme that everything is used to build upon. The foundation principles that everything is built upon those foundations. Peace, harmony, good health and well-being, overall well-being. Now, whatever is best to support that theme, that's what regulates everything that goes on in the global community. If it's not peaceful, if it's not harmonious, if it's not good for our health or well-being, it must cease. That's just how it must be. We must have a theme, a common theme. Peace, harmony, good health and well-being. Everybody contributing their skills to the community, everyone receiving what they need to live a comfortable life. How could that be seen as a bad thing? Why would anyone be afraid of having that? And why would anyone be afraid of losing anything? Because of what you're getting. Everything you need will be supplied to live a comfortable life. Just do your job. That's not hard to ask. I couldn't imagine anyone thinking they were going to lose anything by living a life like that. Sharing and caring, all contributing to the well-being of everybody else. How could anyone be scared of that sort of a system? Unless you wanted control, you wanted to be more wealthy than everybody else, you wanted everything better than everybody else. Those people need to be re-educated if that's the case. Re-education. Teach them what community is all about. Teach them what global community would be all about. Sharing and caring. Not competing, not opportunism. Helping one another. Helping one another to get through life, to make it as easy as possible for everyone to get through life, to be as healthy as we can be. Everyone with equal access to technology. Everyone. Now, it will be difficult to say what sort of management we would have in that particular system, that global community. Whether we would still have local management for groups, communities, or whether there would be a global forum, probably similar to what we have now, all the governments getting together, but we wouldn't have governments. We would have people with management skills, very good management skills, as delegates to go and talk and discuss the needs of the whole, What is best? What would be the best direction that our planet could take? Still with the same theme, peace, harmony, good health and overall well-being for everyone. Still with the same theme. That theme regulates what happens on our planet. In that case, we don't need any other regulation. If it doesn't support and isn't beneficial for peace, harmony, good health and overall well-being, then it's just not necessary. We don't do that. Everything is compared to that theme. Oh, I think we should have this. Then people have to go, okay, is it beneficial to the theme? Is it going to upset peace? Upset the harmony? Upset the health and well-being of everyone on this planet? I don't see why that would be a problem. Like I said, we're pretty smart people. There's a lot of smart people on this planet. All they need to do is use their smarts for the benefit of all, instead of just helping themselves. I don't see a problem with that either. I don't have a problem with sharing my skills, and I have a lot of skills. I've done a lot of jobs, and I've always excelled in those fields. Always. Not because I wanted to compete against somebody else, because I just want to do a good job. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. And my philosophy is, if someone else can do it, I can do it. I just need to learn. There's a lot of people on this planet already that can teach us how to live in peace. I'm not talking about the airy-fairy stuff. We all smoke dope, get off our faces. No, I'm talking about a practical existence for everybody. It'd work. We would make it work. Simply because peace, harmony, good health and well-being are more important than anything else. It's more important than greed, than competition, hierarchical privilege and dominance. That's just a load of rubbish. That's a lot of people, ignorant people, running around trying to prove that their state of ignorance is better than somebody else's state of ignorance. Because we only have partial truth. We're only partially aware of how everything works within this dream state. But once we learn how it does work, we visualize our thoughts into a dream. We embed ourselves into the dream state and we experience the manifestations of our own thinking. That's life. We learn to use that properly, to be personally responsible for what we wield, our potential that we wield, and we use that potential for the overall good, for one global people. not a multitude of separate nations and governments, and rules and regulations. We have guidelines, and those guidelines need to be universal. Universal. So no matter where we go, anywhere on this planet, those guidelines are respected and accepted by all. So we're not going to step out of line by going to another culture that thinks our way of being nice in their reality as being a crappy sort of a person and doing something wrong. We have to be careful what we say and what we do because it might be seen the wrong way. All that crap has to stop. Like I said, one culture. All the other rubbish isn't important. If you have traditions that are disrespectful, they just don't friggin' work. Traditions that just don't friggin' work. But we keep doing them. Oh, they were passed on from my parents and their parents and their parents. They're bullshit. If it's beneficial for peace, harmony, good health and well-being overall, not your idea of what that is, not your belief, your preference of what that should be, we need to create something that is accepted by all. Peace, harmony, good health and well-being. To get peace, you have mutual respect. Mutual respect. Respect is love-based feeling. Love-based behaviour is respect. Harmony. Well, respect is love-based, but mutual respect is synchronicity-based. It's synchronized respect. Synchronized respect. Harmony is a product of tolerance, which is love-based emotional logic. Love-based emotional logic. But it's synchronized. Love-based emotional logic is tolerance. Tolerance. So harmony is synchronized tolerance. So you have mutual respect and you have harmony. Mutual respect and mutual tolerance. Mutual tolerance and mutual respect. Don't see a problem with that. Respecting one another. Tolerating our differences, but still need to conform to the guidelines necessary in a social group. Still need guidelines in a social group. Morals. We need codes of conduct. A code of conduct. A universal code of conduct that everyone conforms to. Not because they're forced to, because they need to be re-educated into the fact that it's necessary. It's necessary to have a code of conduct that everyone follows. If we all want peace, harmony, good health and well-being, we need to follow that code of conduct. It's a necessity. It's just a necessity. What's bad about respecting one another? What's bad about tolerating one another? But we can't have crime. We can't have criminal behaviour going on. We tolerate that too much. Because of our humanity, or some people. Some people are cruel, but we need to get rid of that as well. Like I said, we need to have those guidelines, and those guidelines need to be accepted and respected by everybody. For the ones who don't like it, somehow they need to be re-educated. You can't expect peace and harmony by forcing people into doing what they're told. Peace and harmony can't exist that way. We need to help people to understand how important it is to have peace and harmony. And if we have to follow guidelines to get that, well, that's what needs to be done. We need to all understand that, the benefits that would come from that. No more struggle in life, because you'd had everything you need to live a comfortable life. You would always have help when you needed it. Always have help when you needed it. It would always be there, because that's what people would be doing, helping one another, sharing their skills with one another, sharing their knowledge with one another, sharing the resources with one another. To me, that's fantastic. What a way to live. What a way to live. I can't see any problem with that. I can't see how that would upset anybody. Healthy. I can't see how that would upset anybody. Okay, so I think we're capable of creating that sort of a lifestyle. I really do. We're capable of doing it. But most of the time we've been spending so much time struggling, trying to figure out how to compete with everybody else to get the basic needs of life. That's been our main focus. How do we pay the bills? How do we put food on the table? How do we look after our families? This way of living seems to cover all of that. How to look after our families, everything that we need to live a comfortable life. Contribute your skills so everyone helps everyone else. But like I said, we can't have criminal behaviour. What do we do with people who can't be re-educated? And sometimes people think that word re-educate means torture the shit out of you until you do as you're told. It's just talking about this stuff, having conversations, trying to help people to understand, that they would have a great life and they could be a part of this great system, global community, having their say still. But like I said, whatever you want in your life still has to be beneficial and support peace, harmony, good health and well-being. There has to be that theme. We have to have a common theme for that to work. You can't have all of these different themes competing against each other and wonder why it doesn't work. That's what we have now. All this competitive crap going on and wondering why it doesn't work. Wondering why we go to war with one another to get resources that should have been shared anyway. Okay, so if helping them to understand doesn't work, what do we do with criminals? With people who get joy from causing harm to others? For whatever reason, they became that way. They're used to it. They get pleasure from it. What do we do with people who get pleasure from causing harm to others, who don't want peace, who don't want to harmonise? They want good health and well-being, I suppose, but they seem to think that they have other ways of getting it, of taking from people, stealing, threatening. So what do we do with those people? In that system, global community, we really don't want prisons. Locking people up in small confined spaces affects them psychologically. Any animal, any creature locked up in a cage is going to be affected psychologically. That's just a fact of life. Anyone who doesn't think that way then should be locked up in a cage for a while just to see if they can get the hang of it. It doesn't work. It makes people worse. I know that because I was part of the corrective services to get people off the streets so the general public didn't have to put up with them, but someone had to look after them. Quite often they can't wait to get back. They get institutionalised. They are somebody in the prison system, but when they get out of the prison system, they're nobody. Okay, so what do we do to those people? With those people, not to them. What do we do with those people? We don't want prisons. Prisons are terrible. They don't work. They're just a way of, like I said, hiding the problem. That's what a prison is. Get them off the streets, hide the problem. We just don't want to see them. It doesn't work. Rehabilitation is a joke. You can't rehabilitate somebody who doesn't want to change. If someone likes their way of life, you can't rehabilitate them no matter what you say. They might tell you a whole lot of stuff to get out of prison and then go and keep doing what they were doing before. But they know the system, they know how it works. You know, oh, I found God. I'm a good person now. Let me out. Yeah, just because you find God doesn't mean you're a good person, mate. Look at the wars that are fought in the name of gods. It doesn't work that way. People think it does, but it doesn't. It's a whole lot of crap. So we can't have those people doing what they want to do and hurting everybody else and upsetting the system. Not going to happen. Nobody should have to put up with that. Nobody will put up with that. Not going to happen. So if those people, like I said, you simply say to those people, okay, you know, you will be re-educated. You will be not just in that form. You can learn any skill you want through the education system because it's free. Learn a skill that'll make you feel good about yourself, that you can contribute to the community. Become a decent member of the community. So you'll get that chance to learn any skill you want. You'll have a roof over your head. You'll have everything that you need to live a comfortable life. Everything. For you and your family, if you choose to have a family. Everything you need to live a comfortable life will be supplied. Just do a job that helps the community. That's what is offered to everybody that's in the prison system at the moment. Offer them that. You know, you'll have everything you need, everything you've ever wanted to live a comfortable life, to have a good life. I would imagine a lot of people would go, oh, that sounds good to me. Okay, fair enough. If they didn't, what do we do with those people? We don't want to keep them locked up, makes them worse. It's cruel. It is cruel to lock any creature up in a cage. We call them pets. Oh, I like to have a little bird in a little cage to whistle to me every morning. How would you like to be in that friggin' little cage? See, we don't understand. People don't understand. They seem to have a problem putting themselves in that same situation to see how it would work for them. Oh, how would you feel about we'll get in a little cage, but the cage will get cleaned out every now and again. We'll get food and we'll get water. Must be good. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. We shouldn't lock any creature up in a cage. It's cruel. It causes psychological problems. Has to stop. Can't have that. We can't have that in the new world. Can't have it in the new world. It's not peaceful. It's not harmonious. and it's not good for the health and well-being of the creatures we lock up in cages. We need to respect like people, respect other creatures. Okay, back to the point. What do we do with those people who enjoy hurting other people? We psychologically assess them to see if there's something wrong with them to start with. Psychological assessment to see if there might be something wrong with them, mental problems. Try and help them if that's the case. If they don't have mental problems, but they just like hurting people, what do we do with them? See, euthanasia has to come into play. I really think euthanasia has to come into play for this. It's not cruel, doesn't cause pain and suffering. It just removes the problem. They're given every chance to actually become a decent member of society. Offered everything to help them become a decent member of society. But if they don't want that, and they're going to be a problem for everybody else, because we don't know what to do with them, we don't want to have prisons anymore. We don't know what to do with those people. You can't rehabilitate someone who doesn't want to change. So what do we do with those people? Like I said, if they've got mental problems, we do everything we can to try and help them. Everything we can to try and help them. The last resort should be euthanasia, but the last resort needs to be euthanasia. Like I said, it isn't cruel. It's just a way of getting rid of the problem. You don't want to be a member of the society. You want to hurt people, steal from people, even though you'll get everything you need to live a comfortable life. Why would you want to do anything wrong like that if you got everything that you need? If you can respect yourself because you're helping the community, you're learning skills that benefit you, make you feel good about yourself, and helping other people with them. Why wouldn't that be a good thing? Like I said, euthanasia. Unfortunate and not preferred, but necessary. Okay, so let's get on to something hopefully a little bit more cheery. Like I said, we wouldn't want to do that. That wouldn't be preferred, but it will be a necessity. Probably better for their sake as well, because obviously there's something wrong with them. You know, if they're getting everything they need to live a comfortable life, you know, learning any skill they want to learn, you know, I wouldn't understand if they're getting all of that and they're still not happy, then there's something wrong with them. And it's probably better for their sake to be euthanized, whatever you want to call it. So, okay. So we have that situation, criminality. We've already gone over if there's people with problems that can't contribute skills, mental and physical problems, they help to be rehabilitated or helped permanently if they can't be rehabilitated, looked after with equal respect. Equal respect. Not discriminated against because you're a different colour or whatever. But like I said, all of those cultures we have at the moment, if they're disrespectful, if they aren't going to be beneficial to peace or to harmony, if they have belief systems that aren't going to be beneficial to peace and harmony, what do we do with them? If people don't want to give up their traditions, I've been doing this all my life, passed down from generation to generation. You know, the missus is supposed to walk 10 paces behind me. She's supposed to do as she's told, cook the dinner, you know, jiggy every now and again. We can't have that, guys. We can't have that. in a global community. It's not going to work. We can't have that. So somehow we need to come to terms and we need to find a compromise. Again, forums, voicing our opinions. How can we come together peacefully, harmoniously? And like I said, if you're giving up something that is disrespectful anyway, but gaining everything else that you need to live a comfortable life, surely that's a good compromise. Okay, I've got to stop beating up my wife, but I'm going to get all of this other stuff in return. Maybe that's a good idea. Okay, like I said, all this religious bullshit, people need to be also re-educated in that as well. Just because you're following, quite a lot of people are following a religion that they were born into. They were just born into it. They don't know any better. It's just how it is. I am this, I am that. That's what it is. But they need to learn. They need to learn, at least do their homework and study their own friggin' religion to see whether it makes any sense and whether it's worth keeping. If your religion says it's okay to chop people's friggin' heads off, maybe you need to figure out whether that religion's a good thing or not. Christians are no friggin' better. You know, we've had guillotines, we've had electric chairs, we've had hanging, lined up, being shot, firing squads, tortures, all sorts of torture systems. You know, we've done all the cruel shit. Has it created a better world? No. Euthanasia's got to be a better way of doing stuff, and that, as far as that goes. You know, if people say, "Oh yes, I'll stop being an arsehole, so I'll get everything that I need to live a comfortable life," and then they change their mind and go behind your back and start hurting people again, then they have to be put down. They have to be euthanized. You know, the ones in the prisons who automatically said, "Yes, I'll do this, I'll do that." Like I said, they change their mind. You don't get a second chance. You're offered everything that you need to live a comfortable life, everything that you need for self-esteem, self-respect, and you still aren't happy with that, then see you later. Hopefully not. A lot of people aren't going to like what I'm saying here. That might be understandable. They might be the you know, pacifists and, oh, violence. No. It's simply doing what's necessary for the theme: peace, harmony, good health and well-being. If everyone is caring and sharing, respectful, common decency, they're not hard to do. It's actually a part of our initial nature to be like that. We just learnt other stuff because of our survival, because of the life that we created and had to conform to. All the crap. Survival made us into arseholes. But like I said, we can't be patting them on the back and going, "Oh, I feel sorry for you. Yeah, we'll give you another chance. Go and kill someone else. It's all good." No, it's not all good. We need to accept that. It should never have allowed to be going on for this long. I've been a part of the corrective services system. Like I said, if people don't want to change, they don't change. They keep coming back into the prison system. They keep going out and doing bad shit. If they don't want to change, they will not change. Therefore, we can't tolerate them, because they're destroying something that's beneficial to everybody else. Can't be tolerated. So all these lovey-dovey, goody-goody two-shoes people, they need to keep themselves up the arse and see it for what it is. We need to do practical things to have a good life. You can't always run around going, oh yes, okay, yeah, we're good people, we don't believe in doing any bad shit. Sorry guys, you got to change your attitudes too. Because we need to do everything necessary to live a comfortable life. Everything necessary. Why would anybody want to be a criminal when everything is there handed to them on a plate? It's just handed to them. Go and learn a skill that helps you to feel good about yourself, to help other people as well. Get everything that you need. You need more food, go and get it. You need more clothes, go and get it. Whatever you need, go and get it. It's there, available. Other people are doing their jobs to make that stuff. You're doing your job, whatever that may be, to contribute to the community. Everyone's doing that. Criminals aren't contributing to the community. They're trying to take away the rights of the people in that community. Can't be tolerated. They have to go. They have to be put to sleep. Humanely. We do it to animals without any second thought. We should have been doing that to humans without any second thought, instead of cruel ways of torture and punishment. It says a lot about us. We should have been using euthanasia all of this time when we had the death sentence, instead of doing all the cruel stuff. Electric chairs, guillotines, hangings. Come on guys, someone has to do that stuff, then live with it for the rest of their lives. It's all right to say, oh, we want a prison system to get them off the street. Okay, as long as you go and share the job. You do the job for a few years, see how you like it, looking after them. If you don't want to do that job, then we need to find another way to solve the problem. For all those people, like I said, they think prisons are a good idea. You go and be a prison officer. Do your job, do your share of what you think is the right thing to do. Get in there and do that. See how you like it. See if you learn anything from that experience. See if you think it works. Doesn't work. Never has, never will. It's just a way, like I said, it's a way of hiding the problem. So, like I said, a lot of people won't like all this stuff I'm saying. I think cruelty in any form cannot be accepted. But I don't think euthanasia is cruel. Now you could say, oh, but you're taking away someone's life and they didn't want you to. Yeah. And what have they been doing? What have they been doing to deserve that? You know? And what they were offered to stop doing that. Everything. They were offered everything to stop doing that. And if they still want to do it, that's their problem. They have created that situation. That was their choice. Literally, their choice. You're given the options to have everything you need to live a comfortable life. Everything you need to live a comfortable life. And you choose to throw that away because you want to hurt people, steal from them, cause them harm in all different ways. Like I said, you want to do that, there's something wrong with you. Putting you down will be beneficial for you more than anybody else. You're sick. And if we can't help you in any way or form, locking you up in a cage isn't helping you. Never will. putting you to sleep would be mercy. Not cruel, merciful. Okay. So, we have that stuff. But like I said, what do we do with cultures who don't want to change? They want to keep doing the shitty stuff they've been doing their whole lives. They want to keep believing in gods that say it's okay to chop people's fucking heads off. I don't understand how that could be, to tell the truth, with what would be offered to them. I don't understand why they would want to keep those traditions. Brainwashed, I suppose, institutionalised, indoctrinated. Could be interesting. Getting this global community off the ground could take a lot of thought, a lot of compromise, but I think it's worth it. With what we have now, I think it's worth it. What we have now isn't going to change for the better. It never will, because the foundations are the same. We want to keep the same foundations that created this reality and create a better one with it. That doesn't work that way. You need to have new foundations if you want something better. The foundations of this reality are just selfish, greedy, cruel. Can't have that. Can't keep them. Okay. Now, I don't get many comments on my videos, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of people out there who want to comment about the stuff I just said. And it's a good reason for discussion. Come up with something better. I would love that to happen. If you can come up with something better, then I would love that to happen. I'm only trying to put forward one scenario, an option of how we could go about creating a better world. But if you can come up with something better, I would love to listen to it. Really would. And that's what we need to do. A lot of people are coming up with all of these different ideas, getting their heads together and going, okay, this might work, we'll keep this bit. Oh, that one over there might work a little bit. Yeah, we'll keep that little bit of that as well. Not all of one idea, but little bits of their ideas coming together to form one idea. A joint effort. Let's create a world worth living in, not a world that we can't wait to escape from. So, I hope somebody got something from this, and I hope I haven't upset too many people. I'm a very practical person. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. I think that's a good idea, because then you just deal with the consequences later. But knowing what people are thinking is better than not knowing what people are thinking. So, thank you.